Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Let's get into this. So Cav, answer your question first. Yeah, I may or may not be streaming CPI. I was actually supposed to be out of town starting Monday, but I got a little sick. So we had to push back their trip. So I'm not sure if I'll be streaming for CPI quite yet. I'll know once I get to my location if I'll be able to do that. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys want to get the pad sites, you can always do it yourself by just going to daytradingrealtor.com. Links in the top. You can purchase the OSOK data calculator. But yeah, no, the CPI is the same. It just depends on what they actually list. Let's take a look here. Cav. Yeah, so usually they do all of them. You'll just see this, and most of the time they're going to give the report on all of them. They'll give the year over year and then the monthly and everything else. So that's how that works. But how's everyone doing this morning? Yeah, Fibonacci. I know it's been a while. We need to get some volatility. We need to get some volatility. The last few events, at least in NFP, Um, and for those of you that have the OSOK data sheet, make sure you hit the update OSOK data button so you can go ahead and update. Um, anyways, the last three events haven't been quite that volatile. Only 28.5 points that really moved in that first few seconds on the last three NFPs, and one was only 27.25, and that was a manipulation. So hopefully we get some more. I do think we're going to have a little bit higher than normal manipulation just because there's so many things that are going to be happening. Let's go back. It's not just NFP, it's all this stuff. So it's a lot of things to report all at one shot. So I don't know, Cav. The pad size depends on what you're going with. So, for example, I'm my 250K accounts. I only have like two left that I can actually even get, or any Apex accounts. I'm gonna leave those for CPI just because of the amount that you need for it to pass. So I'm rolling with a 50K account on auto. The auto best pad for a 50K Apex account is 61. However, the problem is how many no trade events that we're going to get with 61 point pad. So, I mean, like the last five NFPs, there would have been no trade at all because the pad's too big. So in this situation, you're going to have to go to the manual pad and then just start typing in what you want. So I think the best passing percent on the manual pad's 30. I think that's what it was. But I'm going to go with 35. Just give it a little bit more room. That gives an 86.7% passing rate. That's if it moves enough. Again, remind you, with a 35 point pad, it still needs to move 62 points to pass. And again, there hasn't been that much volatility in NFP. So we have to go back to May of this year when it was 76 points. So no, Akash Neka. No, the ADP non-farm payroll change and non-farm payroll change are two different things. What's going on, Kyra? Good morning, sir. Um, the ADP non-farm payroll, it's non-farm payroll for privately held companies. The non-farm payroll is for public companies. So, when there was no news going on and the ADP dropped, I believe that was a decent sized move. But normally, when normal news events are going on, when the government is not shut down and normal NFP is happening, usually the non-farm or the ADP non-farm payroll it's a nothing burger. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's what I'm rolling with, guys. For a 50K account, I'm gonna roll with a 35 point pad, and we'll see what will happen here. So let's look at a 30K, 300K account. What is it? 20. 35 cons. And thank you, Toletti, for putting in what I need to know to give you guys the pad sizes. So yeah, so again, guys, certain news events are better than others for OSOK. For example, a 300K account is not that great. It's a 23-point pad is the best pad size, and the best passing rate is 65%. It's not all that great. Compare that to like CPI. We did those same statistics on CPI. Your 35-point pad is the best pad, and it's an 83.3% passing rate. So it's a lot better. So with NFP, these larger accounts aren't going to be the greatest to try to pass on. So that's why I just roll with a 50K account. And like I said, I'm going to go with, oops, sorry, not 10,000, 3,000. And I'm going with a 35-point pad. So let's see, 50K, 4 contracts. 4 contracts, huh? That's not going to be a whole lot. That's probably not going to be enough. Yeah. Let's see what a 35-point pad. Yeah, see. So your best pad size for 4 contracts on a 50K account is obviously 61, 81, only 50% pass rate. There's probably going to be a lot of no trades, which there are. And even like a manual pad at like 35, it's even less. So again, guys, you really need to stick with these higher dollar per point pad or accounts on these lower volatile events. Again, with NFP only moving on average 62 points, you really need to have your dollar value per point like above 200. So for the most part, NFP, FOMC, if you're going to run with those two, I would go with 50K Apex accounts. If you want to get the larger accounts, like my favorite accounts, the 250Ks or higher, I would just stick with just CPI for that stuff. So, but let's go over those that are new here. How many of you have no idea how to place the orders? Let's go ahead and get that going. Yeah, kitty kids. It's definitely the best. It's not that CPI is more reliable RSP. It's that it has higher volatility. In OSOK specifically, you need high volatility injected within a couple of seconds in order for this to work. If there's no injection of volatility, or there's not enough, it's not going to work. So, but very simple, guys. So we'll go over how we do this. Make sure everybody has the OSOK indicator. I have mine set to a 35-point pad. So in the settings of the indicator, we're going to have the pad size set to 35. And once again, for those that don't know how to place the orders, what we're doing is we're placing buy and sell stop orders on the charts. So the first thing we have to do is we go up to our settings, we go to trading, we want to turn off one-click trading. And when you're above price, you want to right-click on your mouse and you want to go to buy stop, because you can only buy stop above price. So you hit buy stop. We need to change the number of contracts. We want to use our max contract allocation for that specific account. And then we have to drag our TP target up. So like for me, it's 3250. And then you hit buy. You let that sit on your screen. And then we come down here and below price. Again, we don't want to do this right next to price. We want to do it far enough away so it doesn't trigger before the actual news event. Right click, sell stop, drag our TP down 3250. And then we hit sell. Now, once you're done with that, you go back to the settings and we're going to turn one-click trading back on. And then 5 seconds or so before the event drops, we hold our shift button down and then we just drag our orders to those 2 lines and we let it sit there. Now, as soon as price blasts off, depending on what side gets triggered first, we're going to close out the other side immediately. So that's how we would do it. So Patrick, I don't know. I don't use Tradeovate. Maybe there is. I don't know. I only teach and I only know how to do it on TradingView. That's all I've ever done. And so that's what I know. I can't help you as far as what Trade of 8 may do. No, it's not a micro. It's minis. It's minis. So, Alan, what's your profit target? I don't know what 25K for mini is. I need to know what your profit target, guys. If you want the pad size, I need to know what your passing target is and how many contracts you have. What's the pass rate for a 35-point pad? Think about that for a second. Right? I don't know. I don't know what kind of account you're talking about. 4,500 5 NQs. Let's see. 4,500 and 5. It's not going to be a lot. Yeah, only 50% passing, and that's with an 81-point pad. So with a 35-point pad, again, guys, I can tell you right now, if you're going for $3,000 to $5,000 profit target, and you don't have at least 10 contracts, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. Yeah, 2,500 contract, 2,500 5 contracts. Let's see. A 19-point pad's a 71% passing rate, but I'm not liking a 19-point pad today. I feel like we need more. So then like a higher pad's only going to be a 46% pass rate. Tythcos, I've already answered that a few times. 35 is going to be the one you want to. That's what I'm going with. The best pad's 30, but I'm going with 35. Yeah. Thank you, Fibonacci. Guys, you can do all this stuff. I prefer you guys to do this yourself, right? I'm okay with giving the pad every once in a while, but it's $49 with the 20% off. If you go to my website, click on it, buy the OSOK calculator. You guys have this yourself forever. It's a one-time fee, $49, and you'll never have to ask what the pad size is again. You can do all this yourself. Yeah, Kev, I may. I don't know. Like I said, it just depends on the place that we rent. We usually get a nice Airbnb, but this time we got a bed and breakfast. I don't know if I'm gonna have a space to actually physically stream, so I won't know till I get there. So, Shadid, no, I have not. Hey, Amy, I know I have not. I have started to compile the data for gold, but oh, guys, we need to focus here. We got less than 2 minutes. So if everyone hasn't by now, the orders should be on your screen, and you should have one-click trading turned back on. Yeah, I just use the 5-minute countdown. I'm on a 5-minute chart for this. It doesn't matter what chart you actually execute the trade on. I measure it on the 1-second chart after it's over, but I execute on the 5-minute chart. And I like that because I used to do it on the 1-minute chart and it'd be like 8:28 and it'd say 1 minute left. And I'm like, oh, and it was actually 2 minutes left. So I just use the 5-minute countdown here. So you can see we got a minute, just about a minute, 10 seconds left. Good morning. It flies, it dies. Yeah, price is really bouncing around here a lot before the event. And again, guys, only do this if you can afford to take the cost of this eval and light it on fire. I mean, right now Apex is only $20 for their evals, so that's a good time to stock up and get some accounts. Good luck to everybody. Thanks, Kyra. About 20 seconds here, guys. All right, move in place. Here we go. I think it cooked us. I don't know if it passed or not. Did it cook us? Let's see. Oh, I got some profit. 2,500. Not enough to pass, but got something out of it. Yeah, yours triggered right at 2,400. Hey, there you go, Martin. Way to go. Hey, look, that's better than nothing. Cooked. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. Half as well. Okay. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Hey, Bobby. What's going on, cuz? Everybody say hi to Robert. That's my cousin. I have family in the chat today. You made 14K in profit? Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna get slippage. There you go, Miguel. Slippage always happens. OP Guardian, if you're using an account that has a consistency rule, then you shouldn't be doing OSOK. You should only OSOK on accounts that don't have consistency rules. You need to be able to pass in one trade. No problem. No, for evals, Apex does not have a consistency rule. Yeah, kitty kid. So I've had a lot of crazy slippage like that before. Yeah. So I mean, it went straight up and then right back down. So let's take a look on a 1 second chart. Let's look what it did. Let's go back. Yeah. See. So here you go. So when it does this, this is going to be hard. So let's go ahead and let's replay this back here, guys. Let's replay back to here. And so actually let's replay back to like this bar. Because it's not when the news actually drops. It's when we drag our orders, which I dragged my orders right about here. Yeah, the 55 seconds. So let's see what happens here. So there's here, there's there. And we needed how many points to pass? So 25 points to pass. So then from here, we needed 25 points. So let's go. All right. So we need price to blast off right to there. So let's see what happens. And there you go. So yeah. So it triggered in here, right? And then went up. So I don't know if it actually went up or went down first, but the pad being down here saved us from getting manipulated out down here. But then it just barely went past the order. So now why, you may say, well, if it went past it, why didn't it fulfill the full $3,000 profit? Okay, well, this is a 1 second candle. The fact that it went up and down in just a couple of milliseconds, it happened so fast that a lot of times the exchanges aren't even fast enough to actually trigger all of your orders exactly where they are. If this would have just gone straight up and then the next bar went up and then the next went down, then it would have been fine. But it's the fact that it went up and down and in 1 second. And then let's see what the next candle did. Yeah, see, it just bounced around for a little bit. So that's why it didn't work. The guy who got major slippage, you must have had a lot smaller pad. Kitty Kid, what was your pad size? Thank you, Amy. 23. Yeah. See? Okay. So you had a 23-point pad. So then we go back. Let's go back to here. Yeah. So with a 23-point pad, and that's someone who has his own pad, who has the OSOK data sheet, who did his own numbers, which I love to see. All right. And what size? Let's see here. Yeah. See, so from there, a 23-point pad, yours triggered in and went way past. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. So you went well past the 20. So from 23 to here, yeah, you went 42 points past where your order actually needed to be. So now, true too, on the minis. If you guys who are new to OSOK, if you go to my website, daytradingrealtor.com, the link's in the top there. I have a video on my homepage of my website, right? in this video explains the method behind the madness of OSOK. It's called the business side of evals, but passing evals, something like that. I forget what I called it. But that'll break down the whole process for you if you're brand new and don't know what it is. So top step, you can't necessarily do it in one trade because of consistency rules. Again, guys, you want to try to do this on just accounts that don't have consistency rules. I believe Top Step has a 50% consistency rule, so you would have to do half and half. So, but good job, Miguel. So the best forward is Apex, really. Apex or Tradeify, depending on what event it is. For CPI, Apex or Tradeify. For these smaller events that don't move as fast, really, guys, Apex is the best for this. Like if we have a funded, I would never tell anybody to do this on a funded account. This is only for evals. There you go. There you go, Price. Okay, so Jason, if you haven't watched any of my streams before or have watched the business side of evals, I do not use trade copiers just for that reason right there. Now, there have been a lot of people that have successfully passed many accounts. I've had a lot of traders that have passed 20 accounts in one shot or blown 20 accounts in one shot. I personally myself have never had any luck when it comes to OSOK and using trade copiers, right? Because you got to think, it all boils down to the event. If this one candle did everything for us in 1 second, all right, forget a trade copier. Let's just think about the exchange itself. We're already trading in Tradeivate through TradingView. So that's already a third party on top of your actual platform. That's on top of an eval, right? So you have whatever prop firm you're using, their software, right? Because they have software built on top of the Tradeivates that most people don't know is running, okay? So you have that delay directly into the exchange. Then you have TradingView that has a minor millisecond delay that goes into Tradeivate. And then if you want to add a third-party trade copier on top of that, you're adding even more delays. So if you're talking all this needs to happen in the matter of milliseconds, you have a much higher chance of getting errors or it not working on your trade copier. So I personally have never had success with them. Therefore, I don't use trade copiers when it comes to OSOK. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Patrick. Yeah, I don't use any of them. So, all right. Well, I mean, it was halfway decent. I halfway passed. Like I said, let's get out a replay here. Let's see, 2450. Yeah, I got 2450, 2419. Sorry on it. So, we got about 600 left to go. We'll get that passed. It's not a big deal. So, all right. Well, everyone, that's it for me. I may or may not be streaming for CPI. I'll know more tomorrow once I get to our location where we're going. And I will obviously take a look out on my socials or on YouTube if you see a stream pop up for Thursday. I will try to get it scheduled. Thanks, Kyra. Um, I'm gonna try to I'll get it scheduled and you'll see it on there. So true too. So here's the problem with gold. I've been having an issue trying to compile. You're welcome. It flies. Compile the data on gold. It's not as easy to get the data in TradingView as the rest of them. So I'm still working on that. But yes, the goal is to also be able to have gold in there. Oh, what I'm sharing is gold. Oh, all right. That's cool. Appreciate that. True too. uh, yeah. ES doesn't move enough. R 4598. So that's the beauty of if you buy the OSOK data calculator. On the OSOK data calculator, there's two versions of it, and one version of it is the version 1. And I'll bring this over here. And on the version 1 of OSOK data calculator, you can keep track of your own statistics. So, like for example, if you wanted to keep track of ES, so like let's go here. Let's say ES NFP, right? Go into here, you say it is $50 per point, and then you can actually go in and add your own data. You go add row, you choose the date, you put in the open high, you put in the manipulation, and then you can keep track of your own statistics and see if ES is worth it. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. I think my first stream was March, maybe May of 24. And I have gone through the numbers. ES isn't worth it. So, but feel free to do it yourself. I just have found that it's not worth it. So, oh really, Lucian? That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. Did you pass today? Yep, NQ gang for sure. Uh, Victory G, I don't. I just pass one account at a time. It takes a lot longer, but it is what it is. Oh, you pass? Okay, hey, whatever. As long as you pass, my man. Or girl, I'm sorry, I don't know. All right, guys, that's it for me. Um, we'll see if we can get CPI in, but it's good. It's good to have news events back. So, hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe, risk properly. Happy trading. Catch you guys in the next one.